Well, hello everyone, Texie88 here, and welcome to number 3 of 52 as we look at the next game in sequence on the Sega Genesis Action 52 cartridge, which came out in 1993. Now, the third game is Dyno Tennis. So, we've got tennis with dinosaurs. So why is Dyno spelled with a Y? So I'm controlling the one at the top, which is a bit strange. And none of the buttons are working. Oh, I got one to work at last. Now you might be wondering why the other one didn't return. Unfortunately, this is only a two-player only game. So unless you can find someone who's willing to have anything to do with any Action 52 game, you're going to have a big problem. So it's going to be Can you actually hit it at different angles? Because otherwise it's just... Yes, you can. I managed to direct it that time, but not much. Well, I tried to direct it to the right that time, but it didn't work. Yeah. I can't believe you only get to use one of the three main buttons to do a different strike in this. I mean, it's a Mega Drive with a controller that has at least 3 buttons. Why is it only using one of them? And of course, it's Action 52. I can't expect miracles. And this is another game that takes you straight back to the original menu, where when it's game over, instead of taking you back to that game's main screen. Much like the first game did, and much like this the second game didn't. Yeah, even if you had a second player, I'd be very surprised if you get much enjoyment out of this when there are already far better tennis games out there, which wouldn't have cost over $100 in 1993 money. Because from what I understand, it costs that the same sort of price as the NES version that came out 2 years earlier. Even though the list of games has Oh yeah, although I've noticed the list of games has some titles that are shared with the NES version. As you know, there were no games like this on the NES version. I mean, and sort of the game beneath this, which will be the one I review next week, will be Ooze, and that'll be the first of the games on this collection that shares a name with anything on the NES version. And I'm just hoping and praying that there aren't the same problems with jumping that there were in that one. The dinosaurs are actually hitting a caveman between each other. Oh. Which shows a level of competency, but it's just a shame that it's 2-player only. I mean, so far, if I was given the $199 or whatever, however much it was, and had a choice between, someone held a gun to my head and gave me a choice between picking the NES Action 52 collection or the Genesis one, I'd pick the latter without a shadow of a doubt. At least going by what I've experienced of the 3 games I've played from it thus far. I mean, the animation on the dinosaurs isn't too bad. We're still not up to standards for 1993, though. I mean, a few years earlier there was the first Sonic the Hedgehog, and look how well animated that hedgehog is in that, and that's a few years before this came out. So remember, I said in my previous video when I reviewed Darkside, I thought about not doing a score until I'd done all 52 games. I think this is another example as to why that's probably the best choice to take when it comes to this collection, especially as I've got a game there that's not very easy to judge simply because it requires a second human player and cannot be played by itself. I'm presuming that's why the title on this menu screen is red rather than yellow. So I'm wondering what the blue ones might mean. I guess I'll find that out when I get to them, but that's not gonna be for another 7 weeks. The graphics are suitably cartoony, although they're not particularly pushing the Mega Drive / Genesis limits very much. They're not particularly detailed, and the animations not more like some you'd see on the more limited 8-bit machines. Sound is pretty much barely there, so gameplay, well, Super Tennis on the Super Nintendo came out before this, and that played a far more competent game of tennis than this does, even allowing for the fact that I haven't got a second player to properly do it. So yeah, again for 1993, it just doesn't cut the mustard. Heck, even the very basic bat and ball games from the early era of video gaming would be more fun to play than this. So yeah, even allowing for what I've just said, Dyno Tennis is a bit of a disappointment, to put it mildly. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope to catch you on another one soon, and hope to catch you again in a week when I review Ooze from this collection. Texie88 out.